Are you tired and overwhelmed with today's big and tedious lifestyle? Well, I have news for you. There is a movement that has been around for generations called van life and minimalistic living. You see, van life and minimalistic living is not only better than the average lifestyle, but less work and more efficient. I'm going to convince you, the audience, today to try out van life and minimalistic living out for yourselves and be happy along the way. First, we are going to discuss the societal outlook of van life and minimalistic living and how younger generations and future generations are in effect. Then we're going to discuss the environmental and psychological aspects of van life and minimalistic living. Finally, I'm going to convince you, the audience, to try it out for yourself and give you the tools and preparations for it. When you first think of van life and minimalistic living, you think of today's society and such as Instagram and Facebook about how people are ditching their work and living out their dreams, escaping society. Well, this is not true. You see, Joanna Pocock says in her article, The New Nomads, written in 2019, there was a few earlier generation in the 50s and 60s where they were a beat generations who wandered spiritually away from their society through van life and minimalistic living. So you see, they were trying to escape their normality, society, and lifestyle. The second part is in the 2008 generation where the economic crisis happened and many individuals and Americans were forced to be unemployed and lose their homes. So they turned to van life and minimalistic living to solve their economic crisis. But today's society, we look into the business aspect of it. Many individuals in the community of van life and minimalistic living look to commercialize their lifestyle to younger generations to affect their future. There are many positives of van life and minimalistic living, but many people only focus on the individual growth and how individually they are in van life and minimalistic living, but they ignore the parts where it impacts the world and future generations. You see, Sammy Carolla says in her article, Dream Big and Live Small in 2019, where she discusses the California crisis and how van life and minimalistic living actually helped to decrease the housing crisis and homelessness in the state of California. I believe many other states and countries should look at California as an example to commercialize van life and minimalistic living to the community. As well with the housing crisis, van life and minimalistic living actually helps sustain the ecosystem and the environment as itself, as it decreases our carbon footprint and the housing crisis along with it. So far, we have discussed the societal outlook of the past generations and the future generations and how they are in effect, and how the environment and individual are affected by van life and minimalistic living. Now we're going to discuss how you can get started. For first-hand experience, I looked on YouTube to find Combi Life, where Laura Gray, a YouTuber under the Combi Life name, discusses her story and how she got started. She gave us 3 points into getting started for ourselves. First, the housing crisis. You need to look for a housing situation such as simply an apartment, a van, a bus, or a boat where you can live for a long-term time and have less of a carbon footprint on it. The second portion is the partners. Many individuals are looking for the business part of van life and minimalistic living, as I said before, where they commercialize themselves on Instagram and Facebook to the community and younger generations to perform a profit and actually profit off of their lifestyle. Finally, there are goals and obstacles along the way that the individual needs to overcome, what will actually help the individual later for their growth spiritually and individually. In conclusion, I leave the audience, the audience, off with the question of what motivates you to do stuff and what motivates you to go out there and live on your own. I ask you to imagine what you would like to be in your happy place, and that would be you in van life and minimalistic living. Thank you.